Okay, before I say anything in this review, I want to quickly say that as a Harry Potter fan, I got very curious to see as to what house group I would be in if I was to attend Hogwarts. And so out of curiosity, I took the Pottermore quiz, and I have officially found out that I can proudly say that I belong to Hufflepuff. And I say that with pride. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was released in 2001. It was directed by Chris Columbus and stars Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, and was based off the book of the same name, written by J.K. Rowling. It's a film about an 11-year-old boy named Harry Potter, played by Daniel Radcliffe. He's 11 years old and his parents have passed away, so he has to live with the Dursleys, who are some of the most awful people you could imagine. Seriously, these guys are the worst of the worst. However, on his 11th birthday, he is visited by a massive, unknown, mysterious man named Hagrid, who informs Harry that he is a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And now with this newfound knowledge, Harry goes with Hagrid to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry to learn how to be a wizard, while also uncovering some very dark elements of his past. I don't think I really said this on my channel at all, but since around towards the end of 2016, I have recently become a massive Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter. Which is odd because growing up as a kid, I never thought I'd say this. I always thought that the movies looked way too scary for me, and I never thought I'd like Harry Potter. I'm a humongous Harry Potter fan, and so basically I love the world, I love the universe, I love the characters, and I'm going to get into much more detail as to why I love the universe and the world and everything as I go through this entire series. Because as a lot of you may have picked up, I'm having a Harry Potter marathon, and I'm going to be reviewing every single Harry Potter film, everything from Philosopher's Stone all the way up to Deathly Hallows Part 2. I'm not too sure if I will do Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I might, I'm not sure. I have seen it, I just don't know if I really have that much to say about it. Now before I say anything about this movie, I want to say that I want to make a really quick disclaimer. And I know this is going to annoy a lot of Harry Potter fans, but as much as I love Harry Potter, I have not read the books. Yep, believe it or not, I have watched the films, I've seen all 8 movies, but I have not read a single Harry Potter book. The advantage of doing this, however, is basically just solely focusing on these movies as stand-alone films without having to revert to comparing it to the book. And it comes a lot easier to do that if I haven't read the book. So yeah, I've seen the films and I haven't read the books. But don't worry, Harry Potter fans, I'll soon fix that. The thing I love about Philosopher's Stone in particular is the fact that it is an excellent introduction to the series. The film sets up a lot. Yes, there's lots of, here's this Harry, and here's this person, here's this thing, this is how this thing works, this is where we are, this is what you do, this is how something works, and all this sort of thing. And there is a lot of setting up. However, it is done in a very entertaining way. So entertaining up to a point where I want to hear this exposition. I want to hear how Quidditch works. I want to hear how the classrooms and the regulations work. I want to learn more about the Sorting Hat. I want to learn more about Hogwarts. I want to learn more about magic. I want to learn about this exposition. I want to hear this. This isn't just your typical setup movie that only exists just to get this boring exposition out of the way and have no rewatch value. This is not like that. It does a great job of setting the exposition and enchanting us as an audience at the exact same time. Also, this is by far the most uplifting Harry Potter film in the entire series, and so it should be considering it is the introduction. It's just such a warm, inviting movie. Everything from the cinematography, to the lighting, to the color grading, to the set design, all just makes you feel nice and warm and cozy inside. And that is something that I really love about the very first Harry Potter movie. Also, I really love how this entire series was made in the UK. The fact that most of these actors are British really gives these movies a very special charm, and they wouldn't be the same without it. The reveal for Hogwarts is very well done. To this point, the film gives you this really big build-up about this really epic school that's just really nice and enchanting. and we are on the boat, and I really love how it pans up and you finally get the epic reveal and you finally see the school for the first time. I love this reveal. And Hogwarts as a whole is captured exceptionally well. The set design is fantastic in these movies. It's just so cozy, warm and inviting, and it makes me want to go to Hogwarts and learn how to be a wizard, or at the very least visit it. Also, other places like the Forbidden Forest or Diagon Alley are also really well captured. The film also flows at a very natural pace, for the most part. Some people complain that the pacing for this movie was a bit slow at places, but I disagree. I feel like that the pacing was pretty natural. The film also has an excellent plot. Of course, we have the main plot of Harry going to the school and learning how to be a wizard and everything. However, there's also something odd and suspicious going on behind the scenes that is really catching Harry's attention. Throughout the entire film, you suspect Severus Snape, played excellently by Alan Rickman, to be the villain of the film. You expect him to be behind some sort of weird, elaborate scheme. However, when the actual villain is introduced, it really catches you off guard. However, upon rewatch value, if you go into the movie knowing who the ultimate villain is going to be, and you pay very close attention to him and his dialogue and everything about his character, you realize that there are very tiny hints about him being the villain sprinkled throughout the entire film, and they're very subtle. So going in the second viewing with the knowledge that he's going to be the villain makes it so even though when he seems to be a good guy, it still makes sense that he's really a villain. And that is good writing. And the cast is spot on for this movie. Like I already said, Alan Rickman is fantastic as Severus Snape. But I'm going to be completely honest, I do prefer Alan Rickman's performance as Hans from Die Hard than I do as him as Severus Snape in Harry Potter. That's just my honest opinion. And like I mentioned before, the Dursleys are some of the worst people ever. I am so glad we stopped paying attention to these people at the end of Prisoner of Azkaban, because you spend the entire beginning of the movie absolutely hating these guys.
Aren't they wonderful, darling?
How many are there?
36. Counted them myself.
36! But last year I had 37!
But even the Dursleys aren't as bad as Draco Malfoy. Oh my god, I hate this kid. The writing and the acting of this character is excellent because you spend the entire series hating this kid. He is so horrible. Not to mention that this is Draco at his best. The worst part about it is the fact that he gets much worse as the series goes on. On the complete other side of the spectrum, Hagrid is also a very lovable guy. He's one of the most lovable characters in the entire movie. I love this guy. I don't think a better character could have been picked to expose Harry Potter to the wizarding world. I just love this guy. It is a bit funny though that apparently he's really bad at keeping secrets. I mean seriously, next time you guys watch this movie, try to keep track of how many times he says something along the lines of, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have told you that.
Who told you about Fluffy?
Fluffy. That thing has a name?
Well, of course he's got a name. He's mine. I bought him off an Irish feller I met down the pub last year. Then I lent him to Dumbledore to guard the...
Yes?
Shouldn't have said that.
It is really funny, but it does make him pretty untrustworthy in regards to keeping secrets. But I don't care. I love this guy. And then, finally, there's the main trio. Emma Watson as Hermione Granger, Rupert Grint as Ronald Weasley, and best of all, Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter. These kids are fantastic together. The chemistry between them is brilliant. You really instantly buy the fact that these three are great friends. They really build on each other's personalities very well. Exceptional acting. You just see Harry, Ron and Hermione together and you just fall in love with them instantly. And I think a lot of it really comes down to the nature of these actors. Even around the age of 11, Daniel Radcliffe was fantastic as Harry. Now of course, naturally he got much better as he got through the series, however even in Philosopher's Stone, he's still really good. He just does an excellent job of playing this kid who's just discovered this magical new world where he is a wizard with all sorts of magic. It's just a beautiful place, and he spends the entire movie just in awe and gains a real passion for his magic. I honestly can't imagine anyone else in these three roles. Rupert Grint and Emma Watson were great, but Daniel Radcliffe really does steal the show. I don't think they could have gotten any better casting. And I also love how, while the film is pretty light-hearted for the most part, there are little subtle moments of little darker elements that are further explored upon as the series goes on. Overall, this movie is really, really good, however, I do have a couple of flaws with it. Some of the effects are a bit dated, given this was released back in 2001, so yeah. Also, I really love the idea of Quidditch, and it's a fantastic sport to me. I love the idea. However, some of the rules don't really make sense to me. Another issue I have with this movie is the Philosopher's Stone itself. It's barely in this movie. It just doesn't have that much weight. I mean, it's a rock. It gives you power of immortality when it creates the elixir, so it possesses magical powers, and that's really it. It's not even mentioned again in the rest of the series. It basically exists throughout the film, and it's destroyed off-screen, I might add, and that's suddenly it, and then from that point on, the Philosopher's Stone is never mentioned again. It just feels really weak to me, and it honestly feels like that the Philosopher's Stone was only created for the sole purpose of having some sort of conflict going on during the first movie. I guess you can argue that it sort of allows Harry and Voldemort to communicate in the climax of the film, but that's really it. Not only that, but as Chris Stuckman stated, it takes 98 minutes for the film before the Philosopher's Stone is even mentioned. So, yeah, it has very, very little weight. And also, this really isn't a problem with the movie, but more of something about the book. And even then again, it's really not the story, it's more about the origin of the book. Here's what I mean. When J.K. Rowling first created and published her book Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, she published it and it was called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. After about a year being released, Scholastic saw its success and decided that they wanted to distribute it and publish it to other countries such as America. But they also wanted to change the title to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Apparently J.K. Rowling initially gave them permission to change the title to Sorcerer's Stone for certain varied countries, however apparently has come out to have admitted and confessed to have since regretting that decision. But the Philosopher's Stone was the original title, and that was the title J.K. Rowling herself wrote to create. She created it with the idea of Philosopher's Stone in mind. It was the Philosopher's Stone, and while technically it is called Philosopher's Stone here in Australia, I still will call it Philosopher's Stone because I want to say it just purely out of respect for J.K. Rowling. So if you ask me, there's no sorceress. It's just Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, period. Apart from those flaws, maybe not even flaws, they're more nitpicks, I absolutely love Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It's not my favourite Harry Potter film, but it's definitely one of them, and it is an excellent introduction to the series. I'm going to give Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone an A+. Get used to that grade, you'll be seeing it several times throughout this marathon. Thank you for watching this review. I had a lot of fun talking about Philosopher's Stone. Stay tuned for my review for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I can't wait to talk about that movie. But until then, yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers! By the way, can I just say that I really love this box set? I mean, I cannot wait to read these.